Welcome back to the videos. I'm currently up on the east coast of Scotland. I've just crossed over the border. I did a few dives on the way up in Yorkshire, but there's not too much to report really. I don't think I actually got that much of it on the GoPro though. I think I missed out on a lot of the footage, but I'll check over what I've got. I'm currently taking 2 days off, so I had a day off yesterday and then I'm having a day off today because my ears, especially my right ear, has gone a bit sore, a bit iffy. So I'll give it a rest and then I'll go diving and hopefully catch a fish for dinner because I've run out of fish. I thought I'd give you a look over the van while I'm here, or a bit of a look over. I'm just drying out the wetsuits at the moment. You've probably seen this on Instagram or Facebook or bits and bobs before, but swivel seat, really good, really opens up the entire van. Got my cooker. Well, there's still bits to do. Fridge is brilliant. Out of fish, as I said, and I've got a great little freezer section at the top there, which is I normally fill up with fish, but at the moment I've got peas and stuff in it. I stuck on the window in the sliding door and it hasn't fallen out yet. The towel rails on the back are like mobility grab handles. Really useful actually, do a really good job for towel rails. They dry them out really nicely. Got loads of storage space underneath and a good amount of space above as well still, and it keeps it quite nice and light, so it's not too dark. But I didn't add too many windows because I was doing this on a bit of a budget, so I kept the cost down. Under here I have a loo, really useful. I have my cooler box full of ice at the moment, and then I have all my bits and bobs and whatever. And hopefully I'll go diving tomorrow, find some decent fish, catch them, cook them up, and I'll jump to that now. There were flounder everywhere. It was quite fun to see. I didn't take any on the way out, but I have them as like a backup in case I haven't caught anything, so on the way back in I can pick a couple up. My plan was to go hole hunting. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any holes that held fish, but there were quite a few small crabs and lobsters about. So I swam back in and bagged a couple of flounder for dinner. Nice, convenient, like concrete path, and it ends there, and it looks pretty deep already actually, straight down there. I'm expecting lots of deep gullies here, so I'm carrying a little bit less weight on my weight belt. Taking 2 guns, a long and a short one. Gonna go out here, don't know the area, don't know the current, don't know anything, but I'm gonna have a look about. found about 5 or 6 cod in these types of holes, but nothing that I wanted to catch and eat. I'm in a different location and I was out looking for place. There were loads of small lobsters out in the open. I've just moved to a new spot. I wasn't planning on diving today. Had a shed ton of coffee. I've been driving all day, but I've just found this incredible spot. I'm going to park up and stay here overnight, and I just can't resist getting a dive in. So there seems to be a reef out here with some sort of wreckage. I think that's a big sandy bay. I've spoken to a few locals and they say it's all good to park here. So there's the van. So it's been running really well. All happy with it. Well, I think we're due some really bad weather, like thunderstorms, heavy rain. The winds are picking up, so I don't know if there's a lot of wind noise, but I'm going to go out here for a quick dive. I think you can see like I think they call it the har. It's like a sea mist, fog, whatever is rolling in. Probably go out there and then come back around other side of the harbour with the current and then walk back to the van. It shouldn't take too long to go over my gear. I've just shaved my top lip, or some of it, and shave sort of the sides to help get a good seal on my mask. It looks pretty shallow, so I'm going to add an extra weight to my weight belt just to help with the shallow diving. And the mist, the fog is really rolling in now, and I can barely see that marker that was really clear for the end of the reef earlier. So that's something to be aware of, and might actually have to make some different plans for the dive. Right, enough of the rubbish, let's go diving. Oh, I made it. The current's ripping. Lander's back over there. A couple of seals on the way out. Very shallow. God, look at all that fishing crap. This was a pretty short dive session and a pretty rubbish dive session. I caught this female brown crab. You can see the tail's much wider, but there was some sort of seal colony there, I think, and I was getting followed by about 5 or 6 seals at one point. So no fish, very few crabs and lobsters, so I wasn't in the water that long. This wreck was really fun to dive. It wasn't too deep, and I managed in one session to catch my first ling, quite a nice pollock, a cod, and I caught and released a fairly nice female lobster. went angling on wrecks before, but I've never spearfished one, so I was really happy to have caught this fish, and part of the reason why I went up to Scotland. There were other fish on the wreck. In this bit of wreckage there was a ling the same size as I had already caught, and a lobster. There was pollock and cod and other fish, but I only take what I need to feed myself for a few days or a week at a time. I'm going to fillet this fish. Haven't actually filleted one of these in a very long time. Okay, so it helps to have a sharp knife, as always. There we go, one rather long fillet there. It's got quite a thick, sort of tougher skin, even though it's only a small one. Look at that, cracking. So you can see as well, bend that up. So it's not the tidiest job ever, but it's not bad. So let's just bone all the way up. Time to do the other side now. There we go, got a box of bits and a tub of crab meat minus what I ate. So I could stretch it out to 2 meals. I will actually stretch it out to 2 meals. I've got a couple of mackerel fillets, so rice, crab, peas, a couple of mackerel fillets on top. Let's get to it. Big fan of these, really easy, really convenient. You can get some pretty cheap ones in the supermarket. So rice and peas. I have the crab that I caught earlier that's been mixed up with a bit of lemon juice. And then the commercial fishermen that I chat to, and they help me out with spots and stuff like that. They gave me a few mackerel for free. I tried to give them money, but they weren't having it. So really happy with that. Got some fresh mackerel, olive oil, pepper, keep it pretty simple, lemon, and I have a sweet chili sauce. I'll skip this and get to the final result. Okay, it doesn't look like much, and it probably, I think it's going to taste better than it looks, let's just say that. So before I go out, just I'll get some footage. I think there's a river running in over there, so it's a bit peaty, a bit brown, but there's nobody about. I think there might be someone actually on the beach over there, having just said that, but there's basically nobody about. And now a car's turned up. Okay, so I've been here for a while. There's been absolutely nobody about, which is amazing for a weekend. I'm going to go out here, see what's out there, go for a dive. Never know what you might find. The target species was dabs. I was hoping for some plaice and dreaming of halibut, but there were hundreds and hundreds of rays in this bay, which was really cool to see. This was a pretty thick dab, and it would have weighed somewhere about a pound, probably just over a pound. They do have orange spots and they are quite easy to confuse with plaice, but in the lateral line there's a huge curve around the pectoral fin. I managed to pick up a couple more dab on the way back in, but the GoPro had run out of battery by that stage.
Oh, that's not a bad view to wake up to, is it?
Everywhere I went in Scotland I found bass. They weren't that big and there weren't that many, but this was right up on the north coast, and I wasn't really too bothered about catching bass or pollock. I thought I stood my best chance of finding decent cod and ling by looking in holes and caves, and I found a few ling, but nothing decent. Because I was hole hunting, there's less chance of me catching fish like pollock and then more chance of blanking. Luckily I could pick up flounders in the shallows on the way back in, or free dive for shellfish, so I always managed to get food. I really enjoyed my time exploring the Scottish coastline, diving many different places and living off of seafood. I think though that I was shore diving a lot of poor places a lot of the time, so hopefully I can return in the future and boat dive some much better places.